Your main man, Rico Roxx, coming at you live, baby. It's welcome. It is your Void Notes pal, coming at you live, Rico Roxx, dude. Text knows in the building too. So yes, I'm making a protein shake. Well, a nutritional shake because I cannot afford food and I do not want to die. So woohoo! Welcome, Miss Torch. I just started an episode. You came just on time. I am less than a minute in. I'm talking about how I'm making a delicious nutritional shake here. And I'm so excited about it, and I'm going to just mix it up here. I have the powder and the water here because I still cannot find that wallet. I actually did pass out. I fucking slept good right after, pretty much. I didn't want to. But that's how it goes. I'm not a man. I was 3 days. So as I said, it's usually that. Just like my normal cycle, I was up for 3. I passed out for at least, almost 12 hours. I would say about 12 hours, like I normally do. And then I woke up, like I normally do. I feel fucking nice and refreshed. Woo! Yes. I had such a wonderful time getting to know you earlier. I remember everything, even though I was in that sleep state. That's the thing about it. Since I am used to it, it doesn't have those effects that one would assume that comes with the first time you go through it. Or I could definitely understand why some people get me so messed up. Whenever I talk about, oh, I've been up for 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, they're just like, what? It's like, oh, yes, I understand. You don't realize what this is until you get over the initial shock of it. It becomes not that intense. But it definitely does have a bit still, and that you could train that intensity and redirect it for sure. But wonderful. I'm just coming on tonight because gotta keep making content. You gotta keep making content, and what better time than the present? I'm gonna tell you a little saying I picked up years and years ago. It says, "Tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday's history. Today is a gift." That's why they call it the present. Oh shit! Still got it, baby. So now, folks, like I said, I just want to say thank you for coming and being here tonight. Podbean is rising, folks. Podbean is on the rise. So if you're hearing this, and it is all over on the many platforms, just to name a few: Podchaser, I'd say iHeartRadio is somewhere I want to start putting more attention as well. iHeartRadio, TuneIn, all these beautiful platforms. But please download the Podbean app. Come hit up your boy Rico Roxx. Hit the follow button. Delete the app. I don't care. I would say. But it's nothing too major, nothing too crazy. It is just, the time is now. There's no time to waste, folks. We must fucking rage. We must ignite the flames and the people all around us. There's no time to hesitate. There's no time to squalor and waste your life. It's now. You've made it this far in the gift. You have it. You know you do. Yes, welcome. For sure. I'm going to slam some alcohol and chill. Okay, well, have sweet dreams, and I'll talk to you next time. I'm just gonna drink. I like drinking on the mic because that's when I can get some funny. I can always go back and listen to myself, and I'm always interested in seeing how the altered state, because right now I'm no alcohol, and then I'm gonna just slam a bunch, but not like a dangerous amount, but just very small amount actually, but enough to hopefully make me chill and make me vibe out and see where it takes my thoughts. I'd say it's about 3 shots. So 3 shots in a minute. Hopefully, we'll hope for the gods of the alcohol gods bless us tonight, and that calm me down enough to find my wallet. Yes, Miss Torch, MZ Torch, ladies and gentlemen, is out here. She's out here holding it down. I feel like she's actually giving me a bit of hope for as far as the woman community in conversation's sake and intelligence. I got to know her a little bit about her, and I'm a perpetuator of high thought around here, so I'm excited. I like to always see people, men and women, that can hold down a conversation, and that are more deep than a shallow Dixie cup of water. So good looking out, Miss Torch. Holler at your boy. We out here, baby. Now come back sometime. See you later. Alright, folks, I'm going to open up this alcohol. I'm just going to play one song of mine just so I don't have dead air while we do this. And you guys will hear me. I'm going to mix the milkshake up because I don't want to just drink water and alcohol. I want to just have some kind of flavor to it. We'll do a little of this. So and then the little bit of protein that's in it will help me sustain as well. So it's going to be a good hour or so. I'll tell you what, once I find a song here. Once with Rico Roxx finds this little song here, I'll make a big shout out, and don't you forget to hit that motherfucking button and follow, baby. Alright, here it is. Hey, this is Rico Roxx. Shout out, Cop Trees, COP Trees, Child of Peace. Trees, my nigga Trees, Trees for your mind, bro. Nafishi Bahidi. I'm making a protein shake, but then I'm gonna talk, so give me a second. You up on your fucking field, taking shit up on your line. My dick is woo. I just made a big mess. Ask your bitch stuff. On my life for years. And I put that on my life for years. Baby. Rico Roxx. Yes, folks. So, still in the middle. You told me, I told you I was gonna come and talk about something super profound, and I really am. I'm actually gonna give you an update. Episode number 8 tonight. It's your main man, Rico Roxx, bitch. I would appreciate all my unlimited reservoirs of unlimited potential, baby. So I'm gonna play another song, man, because, folks, let your man have a drink, man. I can't find my wallet. I'm losing it, and I'm salty. I'm a salty little kid today. Okay, not too bad. I'm actually not salty at all, but I'm not too far. Luckily, I do have a lot of mental capacity here. But let me just play another song. Because I just want to slam these 3 shots together real quick, and let's see. Maybe I'll fucking feel a little better about the situation. So we want to give a big shout out to Boss Man, Big Boss Man out of Wisconsin. Out of Milwaukee. It's your boy 920 area code.
for us. LA got the trees down, give me Swisher, yeah. Keep that pistol, bruh. Boy, that bitch ain't even eat with us. Got my youngin' on call, it's Louis V. Keep that motherfucking heat up. Hey, yo, shit for no reason. Where I'm from, they shit for no reason. But that's how I get to the money, let a bitch bless me. Just like she season, bruh. The way he getting it over, then I hit it. Baseball season, but all I see is gringo. Off my team, so they wanna be seen with us. Smoking on all this weed, this shit so loud, now I can't even hear you, though. Polo on my ass, you move so fast, gotta trap with me. It's so lame, better stay in your lane when I come to speeding, y'all. This shit moves so fast, when I spend this cash like it ain't that season, y'all. Boy, I do not play, better watch your baby when I spend this cash. If she come my way, this bitch might stay, take a couple of shots, I'ma give her long dick, if she in my face.
Yeah, boss man, yeah, boss man, yeah, hear that, yeah, boss man, yeah, boss man, we can't hear you, dog.
Only thing on my mind is nigga get paid.
Nigga can't hear you, dog, nigga can't hear you, dog, nigga can't hear you, dog, nigga can't hear you, cause shit too loud, dog, can't hear you, can't fucking hear you, can't fucking hear you, homie, you just sitting here getting popping off Rico Roxx and just sitting here rocking off freaking, and man, you think we just talking, homie, and you know that I'm walking and singing songs, I'm singing songs, and you cannot even hear, your ears are busted, your ears are so baby, come on, a little crazy, come on, you can't mess with it, nigga, that's lazy, we just stacking game, motherfuckers, we are kinda mean, don't act surprised when we go and do something so obscene, nigga, Rico Roxx that son. Yeah, and we can hear you, dog.
Can't hear you, bro.
And nigga get paid. Get paid, nigga get paid. Hey, nigga get paid. Say, nigga get paid. Boss and Rico Roxx, nigga get paid. We ain't playing. Can't hear you, dog. Can't hear you, dog. Can't hear you, dog. Can't hear you, dog.
Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear me.
Can't hear you, dog. Feel too busy getting paid.
Yeah, man, you getting paid. Getting paid. It's ironic.
Yeah, get paid.
Rico Roxx.
Nigga get paid. Said nigga get paid.
Zach.
Zach. Can't hear you, dog.
Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you, Zach.
Swish it up.
I cannot hear you, Zach. Zach, I can't hear you. F142, Rico Roxx number 22. How do you do? I'm glad to meet you. I say that to your boo. Motherfucker, who are you? I got you, Zach, but let me just spit off a little freestyle real quick in the ear. What the fuck? Rico F and the F ain't for fear. Touch your butt. Alright, next folks, do we have the next person? He just became a father yesterday. Actually, yesterday. And he is a great, one of my new favorite people. So let's give a big shout out. And lastly, he has the biggest dick that side of the Mississippi. Welcome, Ziller. Welcome, Ziller. Alright, folks. We have a strong silent type today. It's okay. Your man Rico Roxx here. If anybody doesn't know who I am a mystic of the contemporary world. I do not know if it's reincarnation. I don't know what the exact thing is, but I come with a power greater than my original self. And I know that's a bold claim, folks, but it could just be the 2 shots of alcohol I just slammed in 10 seconds, coursing through my veins. Ooh, it's like a warm blanket on the inside. It's not good for you, I'm sure. Oh, please tell me it is. Please tell me it is good for me. Oh, it's good for you, Rico. Thank you. Imaginary voice in my head. I'm gonna brainwash myself and tell myself it is, folks, and that's something we can start the night there. I'm just not. And now, if you ask Rico Roxx, why should we care about your mental opinion? Because I have a platform here on Podbean.com. Podbean, my work will speak for itself. I have countless hours. Well, you can count them. 50-something episodes. So about 60 hours of beautiful proof that I am not like you. Just kidding. If you're listening to this, I'm just like you. I'm like not like them. I'm not like them. And I don't, and this metaphorical them, fuck them. Right? Everyone, oh, they did this shit. They're out there poisoning the youth. They're out there. They can go to hell. And so can I. Shout out AC/DC. But what was I going to talk about on them though? I was about to start talking shit about the concept of them. So let me think. Start thinking about rock and roll, and now my head is just like stuck in a fucking rock and roll music video, which is pretty nice. But let's not. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the same here. So about them before them. Oh yeah, I don't trust them. That is the thing I was gonna say. I pulled that back pretty quick there. So them, the concept of them. Karasan, them and they and Goody. Oh, so folks, I'm speaking random names because there's random names of people entering chat here on Podbean, which that is not even though where you're hearing this, Podbean is the spot, and that's where I have him joined by Auxiliary, although he is a mime, so you can't hear him, but he's here, trust me. The concept of do not believe them. This is the concept I wanted to at least start pulling up. That is, and it's kind of funny because them and they, but people will start saying, oh, who's them? Who's they? Who's them? Who's they? Well, it doesn't matter who them and they are at this point of this theory. Because I just want to say, before we figure out who them and they, do not believe them. Do not believe they. That is one of the sayings that I rep. So it's funny to say, to actually pull that out a little bit, because one of my quotes, you'll say Rico Roxx quote, do not believe them. Well then, who the fuck is them? That's a very interesting question. Who the fuck is them? So now when I say do not believe them, I want to say is, there's multitudes of levels, I'm going to say, but I want us to at least look at two main levels. So you can almost say night and day of them for the understanding of them and they theory. And that could be them and they, and I've discussed this, and this isn't going to be my first time I've mentioned this, so if you're a follower, you'll jump right in. You is you, and anything outside of that is them and they. You is you, them is they. Which means one of you, but now you being controlled by them, is that you? Or is that them and they? Ah, fantastic. Great observation. That is the fucking thing, because now you, in this theoretical sense, if it is being controlled by them or they, are you them? Are you they? Are you still? And this, my friend, is why I say I do not believe them. Because this is a shield or a dispel. To say to yourself, I do not believe them. Or preach to a friend, do not believe them. And what that does is reinforce within you. Even if you tell somebody else. Like right now, I'm preaching online, do not believe them. Do not believe. This is me saying, fuck. Another way, if I want to get hood with it, if I want to get gangster, you say, fuck them niggas, man. Fuck everybody. Everybody. Even your own kids. In that theory of them and they. Because they are them and they. And you are you. But this is where the importance of all this is. The level to chemical, to actual physiology, to human health, the effect and affect of believing them. And vesting your existence on them and they. Do not believe them. Because I hate to say it, but if it was up to them, if it was up to they, I don't even want to say what you'd be. So thank you for listening. Do not believe them. That's just a little thought provoker. Because I could start getting real deep, but I think it's a beautiful place to put it, just to let minds stew on the concept of them and build a relationship with the you. But folks, this is the thing. This is the big thing though. When I say if you are they is controlled, you are controlled by they or them, I do mean that as a concept as well. Because that is just as bad in my opinion. Minds are being weaponized because of their physical body. Because, well, shit, even though they have no fucking original thought, let's say, in this theory, you could take a human, let's say they're completely brainwashed and are just a foaming at the mouth zombie. They still, on the outside, look and act and think, maybe, that they are them. And that they have original life. But OJ28, that is not the case. It is not. They are like sleeper agents, really. Okay. What I'm talking about is people who are taking other outside influences and making it their existence and then losing their original existence to the outside force and thus then influencing with the individual listening or me in interacting with us. Because there's us versus them and they. And with this being said, let's say you are a hybrid. Let's say you're a human who you're finding Rico Roxx and you haven't freed yourself all the way. Let's say you haven't... What's up, bro? Let's say you haven't freed yourself all the way. Let's say you haven't... Like, if you think about Rico Roxx, picture me as Tony Stark. And my outside vessel is nothing but my suit. And that's the voice you're hearing. You're actually just hearing the robot voice. But Tony Stark, you have no idea what he sounds like. This is just his suit talking. But it's nice to see everybody. And I want to get you on that level because I get to go home and take the suit off. Well, no, it's a weird analogy there. It's a weird analogy. I haven't confused myself with that one because I'm a hybrid. I'm multitudes of things, but I like the Tony Stark thing too because I do separate myself from just this flesh sack. Personally, I personally do. I'm a poet, and I'm a fucking super dangerous self-destructive poet. So what that gives me the opportunity to do is separate myself from the flesh. Because I'm stardust. I'm a stardust parasite, you could say. How about that? Woo, I like the way that sounds. Stardust parasite, Rico Roxx. Yeah. Stardust parasite, Rico Roxx. No! Stardust parasite, free your mind. Free. Fly free. Look me in my eyes when you talk to me. Fly free. Fuck in your eyes when you talk to me. Talk, talk, talk. Yeah. I've been on more rock shit lately. I was wondering if that shit would come back around. I started listening to rap for a long, because I jumped back and forth from listening to a lot of metal and rock. And I'll start just really enjoying it, and I'll start really getting in where I really am truly having a good time with it. But then, all of a sudden, I drift back into flow of hip hop and rap and like goth boy shit, and pimp shit, like all this, and then I get in where I can't even hear a rock song, it just doesn't even sound right, and then I start flowing, and then so it's been a fucking like a good lot, nice, many months being fucking rap minded, but lately I've been rock, like it's starting to creep back in. I do enjoy the wave. It's paradoxical because if you ask anybody, not anybody, but you can ask a lot of people, or if anybody has witnessed this in their own life, you'll get around the rappers and they're like, what? They don't like anything outside of that. And then you get around the rappers or the rockers, and you think, oh, what's that rap crap? Is that, alright, bye Ziller. Yeah, Ziller, the mime, was here the whole time. But yeah, I've been into some rock shit lately too. I gotta make a rock song. I'm gonna figure out that. I wanna make my own rock song. That's my next little. I wonder if I should do artificial band or just get in contact with a band and see if we could collab. It's an interesting concept, folks. I would love the concept of collaboration. And I know I just went from hyper theory, reality, power talk of they and them to, hey, rappers doing collaborations. But mind combing, it matters. Mind combing is very good because you don't want your hair to fall out. Metaphorically. No disregard to the intellect of bald people. I love bald people, honestly. Some of my best friends, I would kill for my bald friends. But I'm glad I'm not bald, baby. I'm glad I'm not bald. One day I may be. But shout out Dylan King. Love my bald niggas. So no offense there. That's just, I don't know what's up there. You can't control it. I don't know. They say you can't control it. Listen, the important thing is enjoy your hair while you got it. Enjoy your hair while you got it. Because hair or no hair, intelligence has nothing to do with it. But having hair is awesome. And having no hair, I'm sure, is just as awesome. And they both have their spectrum. So don't talk shit to no one. Don't you dare make fun of people. But make fun of them for being dumb. That I would make fun of someone because they are brainwashed. The Lillygocks. Can we make that popular? Every year, Lillygok. You Willygok, Zillygok. I'll make fun of them for that before I make fun, because I think it looks funny. Just kidding. I think it looks pretty silly though. And now I say this knowing that I have potentiality to get bald one day. I'm trying to die before then. Don't give me the, don't say that. Fuck you. Let me say what I want to say. I want to die before I go bald. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Now let's say you're 20, 22, 21. Shout out 22. Let's say you're 15 and you're trying to go bald already because your genetics, or I don't know. What can you say? Interesting. Is it because you're wearing a hat too much? I don't know. It's really, really hard to say. It makes a motherfucker start premature losing their hair and the capsules on their head. The fucking hair molecule, the hair pore. What the fuck's the word? It's not pores or molecules. It's pore is closer to molecule. What's the beginning of a hair strand? It's a pore. I guess you could say pore. I think pore was it. I wasn't right. So the pore of the hair eventually it seals up. I wonder, and then it just almost suffocates, and then it gives up. It's like, well, they'll never be here again. Cuts off, and then it starts thinning. Interesting concept. So the way I combat that is I comb the pores very much. So that way, let's say it's the fault of just the pore got suffocated and died, and that's why the hair stopped growing. Well, maybe if I don't suffocate it and it don't die, then that's why I do have hair. And the less I acknowledge that, I feel maybe that's the worse it will be. So, therefore, as long as I consistently maintain the pores health, which would mean not let it suffocate, maybe it won't die. That's my hope, because that's the thing. I didn't realize how interesting hair was until later in life. But I think by the time a human can, and I hate to say the word human, it's so nasty. But please, I'd rather not try to sit here and think of a better term. Forgive me. And say by the time blank realizes this, or comes to the mindset of, oh, maybe there's something more to this than just aesthetics. But although it's quite sexy, they're bald. They're fucking bald. And they wonder. Now, all due respect, with all you have, in my own imagination, let's say there's the top two most powerful, most OG, intelligent, gangsta-ass motherfucking intelligent, just genius, Wolverine, immortal, Mr. Manhattan niggas out there. I think there's the top tier of existence. At that level, I think there's two beings, an alpha and omega. And one is bald and one has hair. And they're both way more conservative. of respect than any of us. In my opinion. So don't dare claim I'm sitting ball shit. What I'm doing is saying that nigga that did it, go ball. Let's look at him. Cause that's who I am. My hair's been growing for about seven years without a haircut. 7. So from a man who previously didn't ever consider growing his hair out to a man who's 7 years deep. Well, let me just say, I respect both. But so I just don't want bald motherfuckers to dismiss me once I start swooning over the hair, okay? Don't think I'm a little dumb motherfucking nigga, okay? If I could always sit here and swoon over the bald, but I don't want to do that. Honestly, I think that's a worse way to be. I'm glad I didn't go bald. Sorry, it's just lame, nigga. It looks cool too, a little bit, but I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm one of them rockers on the back of on a hood. I'm standing on a hood with 2 girls in lingerie. I'm a rock video, okay? So let me enjoy that while you enjoy what you do. Don't you fucking dare dismiss me, because that's not what's important. Hair is not. Although, do not dismiss that, please, for your own sake and my sake, because you lost it. I'm talking about Germany. So I wish the concept of mutual respect existed. I respect the bald nigga. How come a bald nigga can respect a nigga? The long ass hair who wants to explore what he can do with his long hair. Huh? Exactly. Shut up. Fuck. But let's look at how you go bald. That's what I'm saying. I made my point clear. Both have equal intelligence and alpha omega levels. So this is not bullshit. The port, it goes in. Strands come out of this hole. What's the word I was thinking of? Orifice. You say the hair comes out of the orifice. So the way I like to combat this, because I did say, I'm 29 years old. Motherfuckers are bald. Fuck it, 29. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Which is weird. Not in a bad way, but interesting. Like, my friend Dylan King, which I referenced twice here, and I'm saying his whole name here, people will be like, Rico, you're just out off me now. I just really should love my buddy. You know, he's bald as hell. DK. But he was like 21, and he was already starting to thin out really tough. And that's kind of, when I met him, I was early in my long hair growth journey, but my hair it stopped growing much after 4 years to where it does grow. I'm still growing, but it's like 4 years and 7 years, it looks way different than 1 year and 4 years. Between 0 years and 4 years, it grew a lot. And then between 4 and 7, not so much. But it's definitely it's still growing all the time. I noticed definitely growth, but it's like, damn, if you would have continued that level from 1 to 4, by now I would have way longer. But I thought so. It's interesting. It's interesting. But Dylan, DK, my nigga, I don't know if I start thinning out and shit. Shit's pretty awesome. Yeah, we see nice and forever. So I like bald shit. But shout out to the Native Americans. Anybody who doesn't know this, I was doing a little bit of research back in the day about Native Americans, and they did this. They did this thing. So we're talking earlier, say maybe World War II. No, wait, that's a little bit. So imagine 20 years after World War II. Wait. No, second thought before World War II. Because we're talking. Was it Civil War? Was that World War One? That's interesting. That's interesting to me. World War One. When the fuck was World War One? I wish. It's been so long since I thought about World War One. But I've been thinking about it lately. Like, what the fuck's World War One about? Is that the Civil War? Because the Civil War and the Nazis were World War Two. And then World War Three is what Rico Roxx is about to start. I'm going to be the opponent for World War Three. I'm going to start mass genocide. I don't care. Good luck, everybody. I am coming for you. I'm coming for you. Plans are underway, folks. Fuck domestic terrorism. I'm talking about genocide, baby. I'm talking. How far can I take? Man, I'm talking about 12 billion people under my control don't see me. That's. Wow, that's too fucking nuts. There you go. Okay, what's next? I want more. It's interesting. It's interesting. My mind. So speaking of the pores, speaking of the orifices of the hair, and I was speaking when I started this about how I comb my hair and trying to massage the orifices, the pores of my scalp. That's one of my ways I do to combat it. I have this little massage, this little scalp massager, if you will. It's this little piece. It's like, so let's say it's the size of your palm. And have this silicone, soft plastic. Then I put it, I cusp it in my hand. I massage my neck, my temple on one side, I massage the other side. Massage the top, the hairline, the back of the neck, fucking back of the neck, hairline. Very back, that blind spot, maybe fucking dome, top of the dome. Because I think that kind of could have been one of the reasons why some niggas went bald young. I think sometimes, let's say you put a hat on all day, let's say you're wearing a hat all day. I'm not saying that humans are that weak, but let's say you put a hat on all day and you're flattening like just, so you're sweating, you're going through varying emotions, you're doing all these things of association to different levels, and your hair, this pore is being flattened in one direction, because when you wear a hat, it's almost like pressure is almost like ice. It freeze dries it in place. Like, if you leave it long enough, even if you take the shit off, it has that impression in it. And it might not be alive still. So I try not to wear a hat all day. And even then, I try to become an advanced human that if I did, my core would not die. And so far, it's working, I think. I think I've regenerated my pores. Because sometimes I neglect myself. I don't eat for days. And I'm fucking dying. I'm malnourished, dehydrated, burn my hair. And it's like, but then also, still, like, if I sit there and I really focus on combing the pores out, I'm like, well, man, you're just such a piece of shit, Rico. Fuck. And then I'll sit there and I'll just like, fine, can you do something for yourself, please? Something that ain't just fucking just trying to make yourself look like a complete fucking fuck. Just some kind of aesthetics. And I'll be like, okay, fine, and I can meditate and I'll start combing the pores. And that's it. And then all of a sudden I notice my shit's luscious fuck. And so my only thing is, sorry for the people who, not sorry me personally, but a bit of empathy for the ones who didn't realize this process too young, and it's too late. You didn't realize that your pores might need to breathe, or orifices, whatever you want to call them, on top of your scalp. And now it's, I don't know what to say, but I think that, if that happens, fine, because don't you ever lower yourself. But let's say you haven't done that, and there's a chance to. I think there's something interesting there. I think that connection of hair, because think about it, where the fuck does hair come from? Can anybody answer me that? Can Chucky answer me that? No, I don't think so. Can Abs Daniel answer me that? Doubt it. Can Paul Hall 01 answer that? No. So let me answer that. Is there a connection with hair? So okay, think of words like vitamin. Think of words like vitamin E. Think of words like digestion. Think of words like system. Because this is the words that start forming to the theoretical understanding of hair. Is it coming? Does anyone ever think of that? Does it come from your skull? Is your skull? Is your bone marrow growing hair? Is your skin cells growing hair? Is your meat growing? What is up? And as soon as you start thinking like that, your hair just wants to fall out. Because God rules. Hell, Satan, nigga. Let's see what I'm saying. God rules, please talk to me, but don't, unless you're talking about some crazy shit. But I because I won't forget my train of thought. Let me invite him. But so this hair thing is solid because anything that's from I'm interested in this name. I like this name, God rules. Somebody enter my chat name, God rules. I'm really interested in the name. Okay, folks, the next person we have on, Rules. Welcome, God rules. Hello. Hello, God rules. God rules. Are you there? Hello. I hear background noise. It looks like black person. With all due respect. Okay, so since they're not saying anything, we're gonna go ahead and continue. This concept of connection. I was asking a question. Does the hair come from the skull? Does the hair? Do you think about it, folks? And I hate to tell you to think about it if you're not. Okay, he left. Fucking noob. Didn't say shit. So, let's say this concept. Where does it come from? Because when you think of this, I can see your mind start. Oh shit, I don't understand. Maybe he's right. Where does it come from? 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 And then that fear, that initial misunderstanding, just don't fear, please. Please embrace it. Please embrace it. Fester. Yes, this unknown. Oh yes, maybe I doesn't understand, but don't let that weaken the process. Let that neutralize it. Okay, sure, maybe I don't understand exactly where it comes from. Don't make my hair fall out. Let's try to figure it out before it's too late. So where the fuck does the hair come from? Because I have a really nice, if anyone doesn't notice, in chat, my background photo. And that's my hair just kind of chill. But you can tell, look at the pores, they're pretty healthy. Now, this is a man who's malnourished most of the time. Like, I'm fucking starving right now. And don't fucking feel sorry for me. Don't do it. I mean, do whatever you want, but don't bullshit me because it's not because I'm challenging myself, okay? Let a man challenge himself. And if someone would just sit here and give me some money and just not, but I feel like if I'm at this level where I'm starving, then I deserve it. I deserve to get out of it by myself. Although, so, and I feel so bad for my hair sometimes. I really do. I am FPPW. I feel so bad for my hair sometimes. I'm just like, wow, you're just so nice to me. Like, you're this big, beautiful thing that I built a connection with. You're this long, beautiful hair, and I can't even. So let's say it needs nutrition. Let's say someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, Rico, you know your hair? It's the only way you could have that." MG. Let's say Kristen number 4. Let's say someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, Rico, to have your hair, it in itself, for it to have its luster, you need to keep the pores in which it's coming out of, the things that hold it up, the things that it comes and it's growing out of it, the thing that you need to at least feed it something." And then I somehow believe that I brainwash myself into the food, and then which is very, very strong, trust me. So then, now that's breaking it down to God level kind of brainwashing. Because of course there is the sun, guys, the ones who can live off of nothing. But that is the next level. So, but then I feel bad, but luckily, Mercy has had its eye on me, because even though I do run malnourished and dehydrated a lot, since I do pay a lot of attention to the pore orifice health, and I make sure it's uncovered, because this is the thing, suffocation. Let's say you go bald, and I was talking about, let's say you go bald, it's because you're wearing a hat a lot. So I was thinking to myself years ago, like, man, why are some niggas going bald, or some individuals going bald, some not? And I was like, what could they be? So I really watched, and one of my early observations, I'm doing one of my observations was that a lot of the people balding prematurely were hat wearers. Now, boo, Rico, boo, I wear hat. Now, I'm not saying that if you are a hat wearer, you're doomed, but I'm saying you might have to start emphasizing pore health. Now, not P-O-O-R health, P-O-U-R health. Pore, like a hair pore. The pores of your scalp. The more you work out, the more maybe you have to drink water. And if you're running, maybe you drink way more water than a person who doesn't run. So it's not because you're a piece of shit that's why you're drinking water. It's because you're requiring more attention to that specific hydration. Now, metaphysically, And metaphorically and physically and physiologically, they both true as hell in my opinion. Universal laws. You run, you might be a little more thirsty. You don't do shit, then there gets to levels. So let's say your pores are getting flattened. They may be like, oh shit, I can hold my breath. But how long can I do it? I need some air. Then by the time you look at it, so I try to do that. I try to massage my scalp. That's my long-winded way. 20 minutes to say I massage my scalp. And I do it often. I think it's a beautiful process. And my hair, I think, I put the connection together. I think, okay, that's the most I could do. Let's say time is just the killer. Like, no matter what I do, it's gonna fall out. Well, then shit. But I disagree, because I know. I've seen old motherfuckers with hair, bro. Makes me think it does have a lot to do with forehead. Yes. Torch in the building, nigga. Big torch. Big torch. Ha, ha. Yes, if Torch and I were here to tell everybody that there's no time to waste, that you need to stop being a part of the masses that are just not thinking critically, you lames. Me and Torch in our apartment would tell you, come holler at our libraries. We're here all the time, baby. Download the Podbean app and you'll find me in Torch, bitch. Okay, hey, Torch. So I'm gonna digress in the hair talk in just a second. But the connection here, I think it needs to be looked at a little more, because I didn't even realize how confusing it was until I started pulling this out of the box. It really is. Where the fuck does hair start going from? I think it's a fusion. As much as I hate the concept of, it's a blend of the skull to the blood to the skull itself, the bone. Bone is one of the biggest things we need to think about. Because I love boning, baby. Yeah, just kidding. But bone, yes. I think we call it skeletal. Skeletal regeneration theory. I invented this person. This is my theory. And it'll save the world. It'll evolve us if we could figure out a little more. I think that society has purposefully deluded us from this. I think this constant distraction out of the entertainment industry, Fox entertainment industry, CNN entertainment. I'm not going to call them news anymore. They're not news. I'm done calling them news. These entertainment industries, these entertainment mediums, these hysterical, badly thought out entertainment mass controlling media. They try to distract the reality perceptors, aka us, before they realize what they are. And then, they're not strong enough to ever be a problem. Too damn bad, folks. We slipped through the cracks, bitch. We slipped through the motherfucking cracks. You did not kill us. You did not weaken us. You did not dampen us with your poison of mind. I'm free. You are free. So these mediums, these mass, so you can say fake news people, organizations, they distract. And I think, okay, that's one thing to distract. But see, it's over. It doesn't need more than that. It doesn't need any more time than that. Okay, we know what they do. But why do they distract? Or what can you do? What are they afraid of? Why do they want to keep the masses so dumb? So then that is where I start putting my attention. What are they okay, one thing to be distracted, but okay, that's okay. Or whatever. Take my feelings out of it. Okay. Fine, care. I'm not going to look at that anymore. But is there a problem if you were distracted? Why would instead of being like, oh, they're distracting us, okay, fuck it. I'm not going to stop that by just letting everybody know that. Okay, I let everybody know that they're being distracted by the mediums of entertainers. Don't care. Okay, I don't care either. But it says I'm not being distracted. Now that is what I'm looking for. OJ28, baby. Torch. And Torch, you can realize when I say, aren't you glad when you realize that it's not about the fact that they're trying to distract the masses? It's, okay, now that I'm not distracted, I like it. I'm not distracted. Yeah, let me realize. So non-distraction. And when you're attracted when you're not distracted. So don't be distracted by anybody who just decided something. It's a distraction. And now the thing is, all you have to do is distract a human or a person or an individual so long until they're so weak and they're so insignificant they don't pose, which was a mistake to think this, but I'm saying this is why they do it, and it's effective, but it's not guaranteed. It's very high percentage success. So, but let me tell you, they don't understand that 10% of the mass of chicks they're throwing into the grinder, like the little McDonald's chicken nugget chicks, like they have millions of little baby chicks and throw them into the fucking and they grind them in the stew and we eat them. 10% of them don't die. 10% of them actually somehow stumble out of the processing table. And I'm one of them. And now that I'm not on the processing table, it was able for me to look like, oh, the distraction, that's just them, that's just the process of their hands picking me up and throwing me into the grind. Okay, I slipped, and one drop, run, 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 and I ran. And I feel like it's a bass when I say, I saw a sign, I saw a sign, I saw a sign. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it is what it is. And part of it has to do with that distraction. And part of it, the big distraction, is to do with the ball thing now. You can put some connection of it. With the Native Americans, is this whole thing. Whoa, that's what I know. It's way back in plantation, but that's how I see. I'm a G. I ain't gonna drop shit and just not ever come back to it. All that is a long-winded way of saying. This is some study I read that. So they took Native Americans back in the early Native American days. They used them. I think so. Now I have to get Civil War. Then yes. And that's what got me on my last 10 years, this concept of Civil War. Hello, fam, Jacob. So Native Americans, early, let's say, who they weren't against? Maybe Europeans? So let's say the early settlers had Native Americans, and they were like Thanksgiving era days, and they're like, hey, listen, fight with us against, who the fuck's them? Maybe Europeans, kings and queens, like the Europeans. Well, they said they did tests, or they observed that they took the Native Americans, the ones who grew their long hair, the long braided, they just like long braided chiefs, and their scouting ability and their senses, they could hear a prairie dog a mile away. And then they said, it must be, because you don't know why that, maybe it's just like, then they cut their hair, they buzzed them, just like the rest of the soldiers. Now, I'm paraphrasing because I don't know exactly where, but I know that you can go back and check the study, because I fucking studied it. And all of a sudden, when they shaved their head. Now, I'm saying this is only because they didn't realize that. I'm not saying that bald guy cannot reach these levels of the long-haired people, but let's say you don't realize this, then of course not. But since they didn't realize that might be a thing, then they were so surprised when the level of perception was different with the bald hair. Like the chiefs that were just sensing gray and tracking well, and these mystical Indians, all of a sudden they shaved their head, lose all of that. So I was like, well. Sorry to the bald people, but now you just have to work a little harder. But still, enjoy a nigga has it. Think about that concept. That concept of, does the hair actually bring power? And if it does, how does that? And this is my concept. The vibrations. Let's say you throw a basketball through a hoop, or you throw a basketball through a giant fry slicer potato. Okay, potato. Picture a potato, and you got them one of them graded fry slicers where you push down a potato and it gives it the fried, it slices them all up. Comes out in those like slices, or like let's say 50 little mini rectangles instead of one big potato. Well then, now let's say there's a sound wave. Instead of one potato to reverberate around, it has those 50 weird random fractal surfaces, and then that may amplify. So hair can amplify the sound waves. And so it does evolve senses. So I'm having fun with that. So system. Sorry folks, I'm going to let you guys go tonight because I'm not going to stop this live, but I'm going to end the episode and then start just chilling. And then I'll just cut the audio. But hey look, this has been Rico Roxx, folks. I think we talked about a lot of important topics tonight. And it's been an honor. I'm going to end this with the word of the day though. And then I'll cut this one for update number 8. Because yes, episode 22 is coming. Episode 22, it's coming, folks. And the reason why it's taking 6 months and I'm still
talking about, oh, I don't sound very confident in it coming. It's so important to me. Like, it's pretty much my life's mission to make this the fucking craziest audio experience in existence. So it might take a little bit longer. I don't know. Who knows what's up with episode 22. So this is just an update number 8. And before I head out of here, let's do a word of the day. Word of the day. It's Rico Roxx. Word of the day, bitch. So what the word of the day gonna be, baby? So I'm sitting here just looking for my dictionary real quick. I just had it. Alright, folks, I'm in the dictionary. Let me sit here and think about where the fuck I had it. Yeah, I just had it. Hello, Piggy Jeans. Damn, folks. Well, let me play one song from Rico Roxx, original song from Rico Roxx, and then that will give me a second just to locate this dictionary. Rico Roxx. Shut up, cop trees. C.O.P. trees, child of peace. Trees is, my nigga trees is tree for your mind, bro. Damn it! I didn't find it. Fuck. Yeah, folks. Fuck. What the fuck? Oh shit. That's about all the time I had left to live for that. Oh well, let me see. Oh wait, is this it? My drawer? Let me see. No, that's not that. I wish I could give you guys a word of the day. Alright, so I'll do something else. I'll do this instead. I'll read you something. How about that? I'll read you a random passage for good luck. Now I'll use a very special book. So that way you guys can get some knowledge. I'm going to use Jenna Jameson's Something Borrowed. It is an erotica for women on top. So yes, I'm about to read a page out of Jenna Jameson. Something Beautiful it is edited by Jenna Jameson with M. Catherine Oliver Smith. It is I don't know if it's a novel. So World-famous entrepreneur, sexy celebrity icon, and New York Times best-selling author Jenna Jameson presents Jenna Tales, erotica for women on top. Yeah, these tantalizing, titillating are written by today's hottest authors to tempt and tease you. Each refreshingly creative story portrays powerful women who knows what they want and how they can get it. Who better represent these wildly sexy, short erotic tales than the woman whose name is synonymous with sexy? Jenna Jameson includes free erotic audio story and sex tips. Alright folks, let me think of a random number. 99. 99. 99 send you. Actually, come to Podme. Rico Roxx. Beg you. I beg you. Page 99. On Jenna Jameson book. It says about halfway down the truck, I lost my footing, slipped on some rubbers, and fell face first. Now, I'm not one of these size 0 LA girls. I've got some meat on my bones. So I was surprised when he caught me. Hooked his arms around my waist before I could fall. I was surprised and damn impressed. Nice catch there, sugar. Not a problem. Not a problem. I touched his strong arm and stepped forward. Are you always such a gentleman? Only to the pretty southern babes. It had been a while since a man had me blush. Alright, cheers, sweetheart. I meant to give him a peck on the lips. I missed. I kissed him on the neck, letting my lips linger. He set his arm around me and pulled me close. Close enough for me to know that he was a sucker for this southern guy. Dangerous weapon you have there. I dropped my hand and squeezed his hard arm. He responded by sticking his tongue in my mouth. I like a man who knows how to really kiss a woman. By the time we paused, my panties were already damp. He gently pushed me down the floor, raised my shirt, and unhooked my bra. Freed my breasts and sprung out like they needed a breath of fresh air. He couldn't help but grab onto them as his mouth moved everywhere. Between my breast and my nipple, down my stomach, lower. He tugged my boots off one by one, tossed them out of the way. His mustache tickled me all in the right places. As he unfolded my jeans and peeled them towards my ankles, he did the same with my panties, only slower. By the time they reached my feet, they must have looked like a knotted rope. He spread my legs for me, helped me hook my heels on the edges of the wooden pallets, then his tongue and mustache began teasing my calves, alternating between left and right and back again, moving towards my thighs. I invited further with a ... folks. Woo! And thank you so much. It's been Rico Roxx. Free your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind, bitch. Free your mind.